If you're considering Real as your brokerage, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm breaking down everything that you need to know, the model, the culture, and the platforms that you can make an informed decision. I'm Katie Day with the MOVEMETOTX Team at Real. I've been with Real since 2021, and in that time, I've watched the company grow from 2,000 agents to up over 30,000 agents. So in that time, I've seen firsthand what's worked, what's changed, and what growth actually means for agents like you. I'm going to give you the real picture, not just the highlights. So let's dig in right now. In early 2026, we have about 30,000, just over 30,000 agents across 50 states, DC, and 5 provinces in Canada. We also have title and mortgage. So we've got Real Title in about 18 states. Real Mortgage is in over 25 states across the United States. We are a publicly traded company on NASDAQ. Our brokerage and executives have won a bunch of awards. But today, really what we're going to focus in on are 3 things: the model, the culture, and the platform. So first up, we're going to talk about the model. And so when we talk about the model, what we're going to start out with is talking about the money side of things. Okay. And so the first thing I want to go over is the commission split. It's pretty straightforward. No monthly fees, 85-15 split with a $12,000 cap. And so what that means is 85-15 means if you're getting a $10,000 gross commission check, you get 85% of that, or $8,500, and the company gets $1,500. I think that our commission plan is one of the most generous plans out there. There's a $40 compliance and broker review fee on every single transaction, and that CBR fee is on all transactions, both pre-cap and post-cap. And then once you've paid in your $12,000 to the company, which is about $80,000 of gross commission income, you then earn a 100% commission split. And at that time, there is a $285 post-cap transaction fee and a $125 transaction fee for a lease. Again, as I said earlier, as far as monthly fees, there aren't any. There is a $249 join fee that you pay when you first join the company. And then there's a $750 a year annual brokerage fee that is paid every single year. It's taken out of your first 3 transactions and so that's $250, $250, $250 every single time. So if you're a brand new agent or just a new agent with the company, the only immediate fee that you pay is that $249 join fee, and then you don't pay any other fees until you actually transact. You can also do up to 3 personal deals each year where you only have to pay a $250 fee on those personal transactions. If you are a team leader, you are able to have your agents on a full cap, that $12K, or a half cap. And so a half cap basically means that your agents only have to pay in $6,000 to the company. If they're on a half cap with Real, they do always have to pay you at least 10% on every deal, both pre and post cap. I have another video where I dig into teams a little bit more and what that looks like if you're considering starting a team or if you already have a team. But big picture, if your agents opt into that half cap on a standard team, then they would have to pay in $6K to Real. And so one thing that I really like about that is the $12K is your cap, the $6K is their cap. It doesn't keep getting added on for like a full team cap. Everyone's responsible for their own personal cap. We do have pro teams. I'm going to dig into this on the team video a lot more, but basically this allows you to be able to build your team however you want. Like, so if you have like a mega team, it gives you full control over like your team's financials. So you can have different splits for different agents. You can have different splits for different deals. You can have different fees and caps and things like that. And you can also designate if you're paying the fees or they're paying them or they're split. And you can have lots of different kind of compensation models and economics agent by agent. So if you are moving over a team from another brokerage or something like that, you're able to kind of fix things up how you want to or how you please. We also have private label, and this is for independent brokerages to be able to move over and keep their branding. And so this isn't necessarily for teams, but more so for indie brokerages. And it's not necessarily available in every single state and province. But again, I'll dig into this more on my teams thing. But if you are an independent brokerage and you're watching this and you wanted to keep your name, it's something that we can definitely dig into. What I want to talk about is our stock and the ways in which you can earn stock. And so we are publicly traded on NASDAQ under the ticker REAX. And so the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the stock purchase program. And so before capping, you can contribute 5% of your commission towards purchasing stock. And then after a year, the brokerage is going to bonus you additional shares. After you cap, you can contribute up to 10% of your gross commission towards your stock purchase program. And again, after 12 months, the company will bonus you additional shares as well. So the max contribution amount, if you add up the pre-cap and post-cap, is going to be $18,400. And then Real adds an additional little match for some additional shares. So I kind of equate this, if you've ever had like a W-2 job, to like a 401k match where you're just like putting a specific amount of money aside every month. And then, the company gives you, matches it and gives you some extra money. It's similar to that in that you're purchasing stock, it's going into your Morgan Stanley account, and then the company matches it after 12 months. You can also earn stock awards when you cap. So you get a couple shares when you cap. You also get a few shares when you attract an agent to the company and they close their first deal. So these are the kind of general ways that most agents can earn and purchase some stock shares. The biggest way that you can earn shares here at Real is our Elite Agent Award. And so there's a couple things that go into the Elite Agent Award. And so the first is that you hit your cap. So when you hit your cap, that means you've paid $12K into the company. So you have to be on a full cap for this. And then when you pay in $6,000 of post-cap transaction fees, then you will have hit Elite Agent status. If you take $6,000 divided by that 285, that's about 21 to 22. So it's like 21.05 something. So it's like 21 or 22 more deals. Then you have paid in your $6,000 of post-cap transaction fees. And at that point, you'd get $16,000 worth of stock. And so if you're sitting in like California or some other market where your average price point's like over $1 million, and you're like, well, selling 20 or 30 homes a year isn't really in the cards. We sell, less and still make tons of money. There's another way that you can earn the Elite Agent Award. And so that is by obviously capping, first of all, but then you make at least 500K of GCI and have 10 sales of at least $1 million or more. So you can either do the 12K cap plus $6,000 of post-cap transaction fees, or you can do the 12K cap plus 500K GCI and the 10 sales of $1 million or more. So the cool thing is once you hit Elite Agent status, that 285 transaction fee I mentioned, it goes down to 129. And when you hit Elite Agent status, you get 16K worth of shares. And so this is the biggest way that you can get stock with the company. And so one thing to mention too is award stock does have a 3-year vest. So you don't get it immediately, but you do have it in your ShareWorks account, your Morgan Stanley account, and like you can then watch it and see how much it's growing and everything like that, but you don't have access to be able to trade it immediately. All right, the other thing that I want to talk about as far as revenue goes and ways to make money is revenue share. And so the way that revenue share works, I'm going to explain that. I also have another video about this as well. But if you know other great agents that you'd love to be in business with and they join Real and they name you as sponsor, you receive revenue share, like their revenue as they sell homes prior to them capping. And as more agents join directly with you, you continue to unlock more tiers of revenue share. Again, I'm going to have another video breaking down this in more depth. But basically, as agents join with you directly, if Susie joins directly with me at the company, then Susie is technically one of my tier 1 agents. Okay. And so that means that I make 5% of her GCI until she caps. And so you can make up to $4,000 from a tier 1 agent. So every agent that joins with me as a tier 1, you can have unlimited tier 1 agents. You could have one tier 1 agent, or you could have 1,000 or somewhere in between. And then if Bobby joins under Susie and names Susie as sponsor, then Bobby is technically in my tier 2. And so once I have a certain amount of agents, once I have 5 agents in my tier 1 that have signed up directly with me, then I unlock both tier 1, who's always unlocked, and then I also unlock tier 2. Once I have 15 agents that join directly with me, then I unlock tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Once 20 agents sign up with me, then that unlocks up to tier 4, and 25 or more agents unlocks all 5 tiers. So the more agents that join directly with you, then you're collecting on the tiers down below, tiers 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so the way that revenue share works is whatever month we're in, say we're in the month of June, all of the transactions during June, you're going to see on your reason dashboard. We'll get into reason later. You'll see in your reason dashboard that Bobby closed a deal and Susie closed a deal, and there's a $200, $400, whatever, $700 on that transaction. And then if we're in June, then in July on the 15th of the month, you get paid out their revenue share from the month previous. Okay. And so you'll see those add up as agents that you are joining directly with you and in tiers below, once they're unlocked, you'll start to see those on your dashboard and reason. The one way to unlock tiers, which is bringing on agents directly with you. The other way to unlock tiers is when you cap, you unlock tiers 2 and 3 for the rest of that anniversary year. And then when you reach elite agent status, you actually unlock all 5 tiers. And so this rewards agents at our company that are focused on production. And so say you brought over a brokerage, and say Susie, as my example before, Susie is the broker owner, and then Susie has 15 agents. Those agents are technically in your tier 2, right? If they're all under Susie. And so if you only brought over Susie, you wouldn't really ever collect on the agents that are underneath her until you brought on at least 4 other agents that are producing, right? And so once you have 5 agents, then that would unlock tier 2. But if your main focus is selling homes, which it should always be selling homes, then like once you cap, that unlocks tiers 2 and 3. And so once you have 1, 2, and 3 open, then at that point, you'd be able to collect on Susie's agents underneath you. And so say then again, like if all of these people bring on other people and you have people in your 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 tiers, once you hit elite agent status, that unlocks all 5 tiers and you're able to collect on all of your tiers until your anniversary year resets. So that's one way to unlock tiers or accelerate unlocking tiers. The other way is when you have a larger network. So if you have a network of 750 people, that unlocks tiers 2 and 3. If you have a network of 1,000 people, that unlocks tiers 2, 3, and 4. And then if you have 1,500 people in your network, that unlocks all 5 tiers. And so that's the only other way that you can kind of unlock tiers at Real. The other thing that I want to talk about as far as revenue share is co-sponsorship. And so we have co-sponsorship, and that basically means that you can name 2 sponsors. You can name 1 sponsor, but you can also name 2 sponsors under our co-sponsorship program. It's pretty straightforward. You can name 2 people on your ICA, and basically then when you sign up, the revenue that you generate is evenly split between the 2 sponsors. So it's 50-50. It's a great opportunity if you know multiple people at the company, or perhaps you know someone in your local market and then also nationally. And so one cool thing that I really like about co-sponsorship, and I think the benefit of co-sponsorship, is that it allows you to be connected to more people, right? And so if you only were able to name 1 sponsor, then you only have kind of 1 connection and kind of the people there. But like, again, if you know someone locally, you know someone nationally, or you have a really good friend and then you want someone local so you guys can build stuff together locally, it allows you to name up to 2 people as your sponsors at the company, okay? As far as some other things, Real Retirement. So we have Real Retirement, where basically you are able to collect revenue share at a specific amount after you've been with the company for 3, 4, or 5 years and continue to collect your revenue share. And then the other thing that we introduced back in 2023 was the concept of willable revenue share. And so you're able to name a beneficiary for your revenue share in the event that you pass away. And so, these are just some of the other ways in which you can earn money here at Real. All right, so now I kind of want to go back and talk about culture a little bit. Almost every single agent that I speak to is looking for like training and education. And so we have daily live training every single day in our Real community. And so I can pull up a Google Calendar to show you what that looks like. But basically, we have different trainings every single day that you can hop in on and listen to. And so what I love about the trainings is it's with practitioners. It's people that have like proven methods to help you sell more homes. They're live on Zoom or in Real Academy, and then they're recorded so you can go back and like watch them at a later date. I personally host a weekly mastermind, the Real Estate Video Blueprint Marketing Mastermind, every single Monday. I've run this mastermind for years. And we talk about social media, marketing, video, and kind of all things, social media marketing and video. As an agent, you can also plug into any of these calls, right? And so as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 10 or more every single day of different things around some of the different, benefits, programs, and then also ways to grow your business, right? So we have producers masterminds that are hosted by people that are selling homes throughout the United States and in Canada as well. And so we also have our Real Academy. And so in there, you've got some live training and then micro kind of master classes as well. And so you've got like marketing, business development, personal growth, and then all kinds of different lead gen and skill building trainings in there as well. All right. So as for other things, as far as culture and being connected at the company, in order to stay connected, we have WorkVivo. And so WorkVivo is kind of like our internal intranet inside the company. And so in here, you are able to connect with agents. You're going to find trainings, you're going to find masterminds, you'll find classes, and then like referral central, state groups, and then like fun groups around like personal interests or business building things. We have our real military and real luxury groups that are in there. And then we have stuff like, runners and women of real and real pride and like lots of other groups in there as well. All right. Let me talk a little bit about broker support. So in almost every single state, we have multiple brokers that provide, like kind of that localized expertise and support. And so there are a few different ways to communicate with them. You can communicate with them directly through Reason. So we have Roar, which is in Reason, and you can call the broker through a transaction. And so I've always found like in the past that if I had an issue with a transaction, I'd have to like call my broker and then I'd like explain to him what's going on. And then I have to like forward over a bunch of documents and then they'd get back to me. And it was a little bit of a clunky process. And so you can basically come into any transaction. You can click on a phone number, you can forward that to your phone, call them. And then the phone call is recorded and it's also in the notes of the transaction. So then you can go back to those notes at a future date to like remember what was said or what advice was given or what needs to be done. But it's also like a good checks and balances so that the broker, you know what they said and they know what you said and you have a record of it. So I really like that. Every state has some sort of cadence of like weekly or monthly meetings. And so in those meetings, they normally go over like contract changes, things that you need to know, documents that are required, stuff like that. And then there's also our Real Connect, and that's every month. And our executive team basically outlines like announcements and updates on a corporate level. But we do have multiple brokers for every state. We also have Leo, which is our AI assistant that's built in for like basic brokerage questions. And then obviously you have your sponsor or sponsors that you can lean on for help as well. And then locally, agents definitely lean in on each other as well. So there's lots of different ways in which you can kind of stay connected as far as support. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is our marketing center. And so we have our marketing center where you have access to like Reels logos and colors and all of like the ready to use brand templates and Canva graphics and things like that. You can create social posts, flyers, and then you can also pull from the MLS and like pull the property photos and stuff like that through our like creative studio and design center. And they have like pre-built designs that you can kind of just plug and play as well. The other thing on the marketing and partnership front is we have a bunch of different preferred vendors. And so Agent Image, the CE Shop, Contact Center Compliance for like the Do Not Call list, sign companies like D Signs and Oakley, DocuPost, Empower Transactions, Luxury Presence, Lofty, Haven Financial, First American Home Warranty, Sheridan Street, Sierra, Utility Connect. Like all of these things are preferred vendors where you're able to get preferred pricing. And so you're able to access this through Reason. And so this image here only has a portion of the vendors because there are vendors and partners being added on in a regular basis, which is pretty cool for us to be able to get discounts with some of these different companies and things you may already use on a regular basis. All right, so I'm going to go and talk a little bit about some of our tech. So Reason is our transaction management system. And so like for transaction management, we use this. It's a proprietary app. It's the real app. It's called Reason. And it's a great feature because like not only do you have access to it on your phone, but you also have it on desktop. And so when you first open the app, you see an overview of your income for the year. It's broken down by month. You're also going to see trackers towards you capping, and once you cap, then towards elite agent status. And then you have income broken down throughout the app with sections for your real estate, commission income, your referral commission, revenue share, and equity contributions for the stock purchase program. In here, you also have Leo, which is our AI assistant. And so with this, you can get quick and easy answers for very basic questions And so if you're wondering if we are open in a certain state or province, which we're open in all 50 states, but if you're wondering who the broker is in a state, or how long it is until you reach your cap, or when does your license expire, like different kind of basic questions, you can ask them in here. I always recommend people ask in Leo first, because it normally sends you the link right to the like help desk information, the support kind of encyclopedia for real, and it gives you all the info you need or the form you need to fill out or whatever it may be. But you can also ask it, kind of more complicated questions as well, because like the more questions we ask, the better. As far as other tech stuff, there are 3 other things that are pretty cool. And so we have this concept of what's called Real Wallet. And so in its very simplest form, it's like a business checking account. I have a video that I'm gonna shoot all on Real Wallet and everything with Real Wallet and what that looks like. But basically, especially if you're in a single check state. So if you go to closing and the title company or the attorney will only give you 1 check, this is really cool, because basically once you'll get paid a lot faster. Because like before, it's like you have a check, then you take it to your broker, they have to deposit it, it has to clear, then you get paid. And so sometimes that takes like maybe a day or 2, sometimes that could take longer. Here, it's like the title company or attorney wires the money to Real, and they can drop it to you as soon as possible. You can also elect to set aside a certain amount for tax. So you could say I'm setting aside 20, 30, whatever, 25, 35, whatever percent you want towards taxes, and it'll automatically separate out every single check. But the way that it works too is you can also designate like what money goes to what accounts. You can have 1 account for revenue share and 1 account for your commission checks. And then you also would have a physical card that you can use as well. The cool thing too with Real Wallet is we have Real Wallet rewards. And so you can earn points for every dollar you spend or money you keep in your checking account and tax account. And then you get points for those. And then when you have points for this, you can use those to offset your brokerage fees. So it kind of pays to be able to have some money that you keep in that account, just like you would normally keep money in any checking account. The other thing too that we have in a good amount of states, definitely not all 50 states yet, but it is something that they're working on, is Real Wallet Capital. And so this is like flexible funding. And so the easiest way to describe this is like basically with the amount of commission income you're bringing in, as well as the amount of revenue share you make, the company kind of takes a look at all of that and puts it all into whatever algorithm to then say that they are willing to loan you a certain amount of money. And so you can pull money through Real Wallet Capital and borrow money and pay that back on later transactions. So that's another thing that you are able to do with the Real Wallet. So those are the cool things with tech. The other thing that we'll talk about as well are our integrated services. So I touched on this before. We have Real Title and escrow, and then mortgage. And we have Real Title right now in about 18 states and Real Mortgage in just over 25 states across the country. What I really like about this is as we continue to work and grow these other companies, they are all tied into Reason, and obviously we're all under the same umbrella. So it gives a lot cleaner of an experience to and for your clients. And everything like is in under one roof. And so as you're working with these companies, especially as we move forward into the future, you're going to be able to have a lot cleaner of an experience, kind of like a pizza tracker of like what's happening in all aspects of the deal. Really awesome on that front. As far as divisions, if you are a luxury agent, or if you've served, or are a spouse, a military spouse or family member, we have our Real Luxury division and our Real Military division. These are the 2 official divisions at the company. We also have other groups as well that are more like affinity groups. So if you're serving different communities or things like that, we have some of those that aren't necessarily official divisions of Real, like you have to apply to be in Real Military and Real Luxury. But some of the others are more just kind of based around interests. Each year we have 2 company driven events. And so Real Rise is our annual conferences in the fall. Real X we do every spring, and that's like a virtual conference. And then the other thing that we do is a lot of agent-led events. And so those are normally like for agents by agents. So they're not to the scale normally that Rise is, but those, normally a couple hundred events. And then we also have like micro events and meetups, coffee and collab type stuff, happy hours, stuff like that are smaller and more intimate. But there's definitely a lot of stuff going on across the country in all different markets. Some other things that are of interest to many people is like we have access to healthcare benefits. I personally don't use this, but I know a few agents that do, that like didn't have insurance for a while and then they signed up for it. So there are options for like medical, dental, vision, things like that. And so you can schedule like a consult and like dig more into that. And then we also have our One Real Impact Fund. And so there's two things I kind of want to talk to on this. And so the first is that you can donate on every single transaction, a certain percentage or a certain dollar amount to the One Real Impact Fund. And basically the fund is tax exempt, doesn't need to be repaid, funds that you can apply for if you are in a time of crisis. So it's like personal hardship, unexpected emergencies, natural disasters, things like that. And they do have a grant process for that and an application process for that, but you can go to One Real Impact for kind of more info on that. But that's a way that you can both contribute to other real agents, but also if you ever need financial assistance in some way, something that you could potentially apply for. One of the things that I love about Real is our collaborative community. Again, I joined in like the summer of 2021. We had like 2,000 agents now. In 2026, we're sitting at over 33,000 agents at the company. And what I love about that is like we are continuing to grow with like-minded agents, with people from across the US and Canada. And like the collaboration that I see here and across the country, it's unmatched. And I think we all want to help each other succeed. So whether it's like social media, building a team, branding, working with your sphere of influence, mindset, marketing, buyers, listings, expireds, like whatever you can think of, someone's already either teaching a class or a mastermind, or they're like open to hopping on a call to help you out. So if you're ready to take a closer look at Real, let's talk. Schedule a call with me using the link down in the description or click the QR code, and we'll figure out if this is the right fit for you.